We've got an angry Arteta. We've got transfer updates from there's not that many. There's a bit of Rafinha. There's a bit of Gabriel Jesus and Yuri Tillemans, but not too much, people. You've got a few transfer dealings, and you've got some news on Arteta versus Kroenke. We're here to discuss that. We've got Jerome in the background. Get ready. It's the Arsenal show. All right, people. Let's go. All right, welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live. I'm joined by my co-host tonight, Jerome Marks. How you doing, Jerome?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. You okay?
I'm good. I feel like I'm better than a lot of Arsenal fans who are currently. They saw the transfer window open and then immediately saw their arse as their heads span when we didn't sign one player. But that's not Arsenal to be signing players on the opening day of the window. However, they did sign one, and we will be talking about it today as well. But we'll also be discussing the apparent fallout between Kroenke and Arteta, where Arteta is frustrated with deals not being done already, and we're going to discuss some of the transfer rumours and see if we've got any updates on the transfer news that's already out. All right, let's go. So, news has come out in the Mirror on Sunday that Mikel Arteta is growing frustrated with Arsenal's hierarchy as he fears their approach could cost them in the transfer market. He says their hesitancy has meant that neighbours Tottenham, as well as Chelsea and Real Madrid, have entered the race and can all offer Champions League football. It could mean Arsenal miss out on their number one target. Arteta, who is well known, having worked with him at the Etihad, they're talking about Gabriel Jesus. Jerome, is this deja vu? Is this just paper talk? Do you feel like he should be annoyed right now? What's your thoughts on the situation?
So it's really hard to know what to believe, to be honest. In terms of whether there has been like a falling out, whether Arteta is annoyed. He seemed quite laid back in that photo we saw the other day of him playing on the beach. So yeah, honestly, I don't know what to believe. I guess that might seem more likely as the longer the transfer window goes, and if we haven't pulled off any signings. But so far, like you said, it's only early days. And there's still international football being played like right this minute. Yeah. So maybe that might change a few things in terms of maybe announcing players, getting players to sign the contracts, perhaps.
So where do you feel like this is just? It's an easy story. I feel like every year you're always going to get a Kroenke story. You're always going to get a story where it states that Arsenal need to sell before they can buy, and you're always going to get a story saying that Arsenal are short on funds and they probably aren't going to push to get this player. Year in, year out, those stories seem to be squashed, and we end up buying players. Most recently, when we spent 150 million in the summer, at that time, a lot of journalists were coming out and saying Arsenal need to sell before they buy. And we just went on a rampage and just released all of our players and pretty much got next to nothing for them. So you feel like this could potentially just be some paper talk, and it's too early doors to be frustrated.
Yeah, possibly. Look, we're a very easy fan base to wind up.
Yeah.
And even when we made the Tomiyasu signing, there's never anything positive. It's always negative. With one of the reporters saying that they're not sure if he's a right back or a centre back.
Yeah, centre midfield. Tottenham tried to buy him, didn't want him.
Yeah. We never get given any credit. So it's I'm not surprised that there's like a story with a bit of a negative spin that's come out. But fingers crossed the guys know what they're doing, and hopefully we'll get something announced soon.
Mm-hmm. Are you worried? Do you feel it's too early to be worried? Is there anything in the back of your mind that's thinking, I'm a little bit worried at the fact there's not been any sort of movement on things that sort of look like they were happening early doors. Kroenke's potentially got some. He's not the easiest guy to operate with. He wants everything to be run through strict guidelines and he's dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Yeah. I think naturally we're probably a bit of a worried bunch.
Yeah.
So I think there is always going to be that element to it.
Uh-huh.
But am I getting sort of caught up in the meltdown that happened today, especially when the news broke about Bissell?
Oh, we'll get onto that. We'll get onto that in a minute. We'll get onto that in a minute.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm always going to be worried until the transfer window closes, because there's areas I think that we desperately need to strengthen, and if we don't, we're going to be facing an uphill battle, I think, next season, just because of the other teams that we're competing with. So until the transfer window closes, I think I will always have that element of worry. But realistically, I know that it's very early in the window. As I say, there's still football being played, and you know, I'm hopeful that the team will do what's needed to strengthen the squad.
All right. Jonathan says, properly kickbait. It gets clicks and makes fans get riled up. He knows. We all know. We've all been there. We've all said we're not going to get wound up, and then like 4 or 5 days later, we're like, I can't believe we ain't signed no one. Like, we can't help it. We're passionate. All right, we're passionate. All right. So people are saying clickbait on that one. Next up, Bernd Leno, top goalkeeper. He's definitely going to be leaving in the summer. Fulham are one team that's currently in talks with Arsenal about trying to sort out a deal for Bernd Leno. Also, his agent's been speaking, and his agent came out and said Arsenal star Bernd Leno's agent, Jonas Kakageras, has come out and claimed that his client deserves to be number one at the Emirates ahead of Aaron Ramsdale. He said that Arsenal made a mistake in making Aaron Ramsdale number one, and that in fact Bernd Leno is the better goalkeeper. Just agent talk, being an agent, bigging up his client as he sends his farewells to Arsenal and tries to ship him off to another club, or has he got a point? Has Bernd Leno been harshly done by since Aaron Ramsdale's come in?
Oh, good question. I don't think he's been hardly done by. I think obviously his agent's just trying to. He's got to get the best deal from, isn't he? And he's gonna talk him up, try and get him the best sort of contract. And I think he mentioned that in his eyes he's the number one or something. The agent mentioned he's Arsenal's number one.
Yeah,
which obviously he isn't, because he hasn't been playing. Not the only good thing, but if a Premier League club are interested in him, that's going to benefit us, because we might be able to get a bit more money than if they were to sell him abroad. Because it doesn't seem as though clubs abroad have got much money. Yeah. And the fee for Leno, wherever he goes, is probably going to be maybe not even half of what we probably think he's worth.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like that with a lot of our players that we're trying to sell. But obviously, it seems as though Arsenal have got like a goalie lined up to come in his place. Yes,
Matt Turner's coming in. We've already bought him. He's USA number one. Someone mentioned the other day, they said he's surprised Arsenal fans aren't more excited by Matt Turner. He's apparently meant to be a top goalkeeper, very highly regarded in America. And I've got I rate American goalkeepers. I can't lie. I've rated American goalkeepers for a long time. After Casey Keller. Casey Keller was like the early doors one. He was very eccentric, not a bad goalkeeper. He was not bad. Millwall, Leicester, Tottenham. However, Brad Friedel, Tim Howard, Guzan weren't bad. Who else? They've got half decent goalkeepers.
They've had a few. Look, with Leno, you're never going to be able to keep both of them happy, are you? Like you can't after every 5 games start swapping your goalkeeper. You need to sort of have a number one and go with it. And look, for Arsenal, it'd be great if Leno stayed. He'd be a fantastic, brilliant backup.
Yeah, excellent backup.
But if he's got 1 year left and he probably wants to play, probably wants to be in the Germany squad, and he's I think. Would you say he's been a bit of a letdown, Leno? In terms of a signing?
I'd probably say that was a bit harsh. I would say that Leno's a good goalkeeper. Yeah. I just don't think there's too many things that for me that don't make him an Arsenal goalkeeper. Arsenal goalkeepers are renowned for having good presence in the box. I don't think Leno has that.
Do you think it's something? Do you think it's something that he could have worked on, improved on, or you just think he hasn't got it? He hasn't got it.
I think certain goalkeepers are certain goalkeepers, and I think Leno is a world-class shot-stopping goalkeeper. That's what I think he is. I think he's outstanding for shot-stopping. As good as Ramsdale. You can't. It's very hard to pick between those two when you're talking about pulling off worldly saves, because they've both pulled off saves where you're watching the replays, you just can't think how he's managed to get his hands to it. But it's you're talking about small, minute details when you're talking about what type of goalkeeper are they? Do they suit the team? And Leno's style of play didn't suit the team. He was too slow on his distribution in getting the ball out. And his distribution wasn't great as well. It was okay, good enough to be a goalkeeper that's that sort of shot-stopping goalkeeper in any other team. Do you know what I mean? Look at David De Gea. David De Gea is an excellent goalkeeper, but he wouldn't work in a Pep team. He wouldn't work in a Klopp team because he needs to be able to pass out from the back. David De Gea can't do that, but it doesn't take away from the fact that he's one of the best goalkeepers at shot stopping. He's unbelievable, and that's what Leno is. And Ramsdale is a lot better at his footwork, and I mean a lot better. We're talking it's night and day for those two, and you saw that towards maybe the end of Leno's time when it came to being under pressure. Leno's kicking went out the window. His decision making went out the window. He's getting sent off, making rash decisions. It was just what is going on with this guy? And it just felt like a lot of pressure was on at Arsenal. We weren't scoring goals. A lot of pressure was on Burnt, and it got to him.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. There's an expression in boxing. They say it there's different levels. And when Leno first came in, obviously he replaced Cech. And Cech was horrific with the ball at his feet. And we were like, Leno's here. He looks decent with the ball at his feet.
How good did we think that Leno was with his feet? We were like, this geezer. We can't expect Cech to do that. There's no way Cech can do that. A 10-yard pass?
Do you remember there was a game? It might have been the first game of this. It might have been even Cech's first game, I think, or one of his first games. And he had the ball. At the Emirates.
Talking about when it went across the line.
He nearly put it in his own goal.
No, that was his first game under Emery. When Emery was making him play with his feet. And it was
it nearly went in.
Rolled.
It was embarrassing. Yeah, it's a really bad one.
Yeah, but you're asking a 36-year-old goalkeeper to now adapt his game and play with his feet. And it's not just the asking a goalkeeper that doesn't play with their feet to play with their feet, it's because they do that anyway. They're if you pass the ball to Cech and you have to pass it out, there would be no issues with that. It's having to know full well that you're having to play a different game. You're not just getting the ball out and then sending it to this geezer over here. You're looking over here, over there, and you're hoping, possibly getting in position to get the ball back as well. It's a completely different game. It's completely different. And there was no way Czech was going to be able to do it. But yeah, you're right. The difference from Czech to Leno and then Leno to Ramsdale is frightening.
Yeah.
Frightening.
Yeah.
But Bernd Leno, good servant at Arsenal overall?
Yeah, I think not bad. Not bad. I think maybe he didn't perform to like maybe the expectations that we had, perhaps, but he wasn't by any means terrible.
Mm-hmm.
He was okay. He was all right, Leno. He was all
right. Out of Emirates goalkeepers, where does Leno place?
Well, probably above Almunia.
Oh mate, how bad was he?
Yeah. I think we had we had Jens there, but that was towards like the end, really. I think.
Yeah, and I think he come back for his second stint as well, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Fabianski, Ramsdale, Czech.
Yeah, it hasn't been fantastic, really, is it? Our array of goalkeepers in the Emirates era.
No, not been. It's not been a shining light. So
Mark Poom.
He's not. He weren't bad for a third choice.
He was good at Derby.
So where does Leno come?
Probably, I'd put him near the top out of all those guys.
All right. So he's still near the top.
Probably right near the top. Yeah, right near the top. I'd say.
All right. So Leno, you're still loved by Arsenal fans. You're right near the top. You're one of the best from the Emirates era.
Yeah.
I mean, you won't go through who they are, but you're one of the best.
Yeah.
What's he saying? Hope you feel well. Yeah, well, Jerome is giving a follow. Thank you very much, Tony. Appreciate that. Go and follow Talking Ball on Twitter. Very, very, very good page. Always looking for Arsenal news. If there's Arsenal news out there, Tony will find it. Trust me. Jonathan Cox, we say. How much are you expecting for Leno, Jerome? Jonathan,
so 10. Yeah, that's probably, if he does go to Fulham, I reckon that's probably the amount that we would get. Mm-hmm. Ideally, probably we'd want a bit more than that, considering his age, as well. Mm-hmm. Comparing him to what other goalies go for.
Yeah,
but I think you'd probably be happy with 10. I'd say.
Yeah, you would be happy with 10. Definitely, I'll take 10 for Leno because
left as well, isn't he? He's only got a year left.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look recently, we've just been giving away our players, and we've got to stop doing that now. Like we really do.
It's a big fee for us, that isn't it? 10 million now to sell a player.
Yeah, well, we've got 9 million for Guendouzi. So yeah, and for me, it was just good to get him off the books because it's that chapter's done now. There's no more talking about him coming back. There's no more people saying we shoulda, coulda, or watching him. Like it's done. We move on. Yeah. Melvin says we'd get more money if clubs don't know that we want to the ones that we're selling. The only thing is, Bernd. It's different with Bernd. I get what you're saying, but Bernd was different because I mean, he wants to go to the World Cup. He said, dude can't catch a ball. He can catch a ball. Slightly harsh. He said he's still a good player. All right, next story that comes up is players that still at Arsenal, even though he had an excellent season last season with Fiorentina, they've only got an offer of 7 mil. And considering the option to buy fee was 15 mil, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth, Jerome. Are Arsenal being taken for mugs again?
Yeah, well, you know what? I think just before we came on, mm-hmm. he made an announcement to Herrera basically saying his goodbyes to Fiorentina and saying basically he wasn't too happy about how the situation's turned out. Now, whether he's annoyed at Arsenal for not accepting that offer or he's annoyed at Fiorentina for only offering half of what they said they were going to offer.
No, but you have to be annoyed at Fiorentina. You have to be. Yeah. What they want to do is they want him to force a move.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you it's like a test of character. It's like not a test of character, but it's showing someone's character in a bad light. If they're having to push for a move, you're basically wanting to go to the club and say, I only want to move to Fiorentina, get this deal done.
Yeah, if they've agreed that fee before he went there, then the club should stick to that. And you know what teams do these days? I'm sure they can spread the payments so it doesn't, they don't have to spend a big chunk sort of up front. Spread the payments over 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I'm sure they're quite capable of doing that. And I do feel a bit sorry for Torreira because he's not one of these players for Arsenal anyway that sort of kicked up a fuss or he seemed quite like a likeable chap.
Yeah.
Obviously that goal he scored against Spurs made him like an instant it was an instant hit with the fans. And it's crazy, isn't it, how the offers for our players are so low. Like
because they know like one, as Melvin said, that Arsenal are looking to sell, but two, they also know that once it gets to a certain point, Arsenal will just give the player away. Whereas and with a year, with still time on their contract, whereas you're looking at these other clubs and they're not doing that. Look, Man United lost 4 players this season, all on free transfers. They could have got 30 for Jesse Lingard. They could have probably got 10 for Matic. They probably got 5 or 10 for Mata. A couple of other players have left on free transfers. Arsenal will go. Year left. Let's just get him off the wage bill. Go on, you can have him for free. How Arsenal gave away Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang for nothing, with 2 years left on his contract, is crazy. That's madness. So people are now looking at that situation and saying, you got rid of a player that you gave 350 grand a week, your captain. Okay, let's test your resolve with some of these players that have got a year left that you are definitely not going to play. I've got no value.
Yeah, what would you do? Would you have accepted the 7 million?
No. I think the thing is, if you're like, if they was to offer 10 mil, I think you can start having a conversation. That's something you can go to the table with, and you can have a conversation there. Where they've straight up just offered less than half the money that you agreed on previously, it's a kick in the teeth. It's an insult. So it's a bit like, I'm not even going to do business with you. So I'm glad. If it's true that Arsenal have not even responded to Fiorentina because they're insulted by it, and probably told Torreira that you're not going back there because they're not offering the money, and he's gone and said his goodbyes, then I'm happy.
Yeah, but what about if that means that, in the nicest possible way, that we're stuck with Torreira and he's our player? And he's got a year. Has he got a year left, Torreira?
Yeah, I don't see Torreira being there impacting on players that we might bring in.
Yeah.
I don't see him impacting on the likes of Tielemans because it's 2 different types of players. Yeah. I see Torreira going. I do see him going. Because he got Player of the Month 3 times in Italy. He was in the team of the season. He was Player of the Season for Fiorentina. I think he got the most amount of goals that he's got in Italy this year as well. I can't remember how many it was. He got 5 goals for a defensive midfielder in Italy. That ain't bad. You see strikers that get double that. He's had an excellent season, so I can see someone coming in for him. I just think that Fiorentina have tried it, and Arsenal have done well to just shut them down.
What's weird? Yeah, what's weird is that there's not even the player's already come out and said his goodbyes. So you'd think that if there was negotiations taking place, maybe he'd hold off of sending that message. So I'd love to know Torreira's thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's annoyed. I'm sure he thought he was going back to Italy. I'm sure he told his family that he's go on, find me a house, because that's what. If you're over there, you've got a season-long loan. You're doing really well for the team. You're having conversations with the management, the hierarchy while you're there, and you're probably saying, "I'm ready to move here full time." You're looking at houses. Do you know what I mean? And then, yeah, exactly. You click back to Arsenal. See you later, and they're like, "Lucas, you ain't going nowhere, mate." Like, I thought you were sorting out a deal with Fiorentina. They've offered 7 million, half of what they said they was going to pay for you. You ain't going nowhere, mate. And it's like a kick in the stomach. It's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
What the hell? So
this is the problem. These clubs haven't got any money.
Exactly. The Italian clubs, especially, they've got no money.
Even 15 million was probably a bit of a liability. To be honest, considering what we paid for him.
No, it was. Jonathan says, I can see him staying in Italy, maybe a team like Lazio. Look, there's teams out there that can afford Torreira, and the teams out there will know that his value is much more than 7 mil. And I think if the team in Italy go and get Torreira, I think Fiorentina will be kicking themselves. Because I think they just chanced their arm there, and they've got pie in the face.
Wait a minute, didn't they just sell that Vlahovic for about 75 million?
Yep. This is what I mean. You got Vlahovic money.
Yeah.
And the season, didn't you also sell Chiesa? Chiesa the season before. Well, it was on a 2-season-long loan, but with a I think either obligation or option to buy for Juventus. Like, you've got money.
Yeah.
We'll do you a good deal. Payment structures. This is what Arsenal are about. Do you know what I mean? We're going to be playing for Nicolas Pepe when his grandchildren are still here, like joining us. Like, it's no joke with Arsenal. They don't mess around. Like, they are the payment kings.
Yeah.
Karma, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Karma. All right. Next up, it's only a little brief one. Ainsley Maitland-Niles still here. Nottingham Forest are considering the move for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Potentially, I'm thinking this could potentially be the one chance we can get some half decent money for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, because, as you said, you ain't getting no money from abroad.
No.
Like, I think, what was it that he got offered a couple of seasons ago? 20 mil, 15 mil.
Yeah.
Like, we must be kicking ourselves that we didn't take that, because he must have played about 5 games since.
Yeah. I know, crazy, isn't it?
Did you expect him to be going to Roma and get a little bit more game time, or did you think? What was your thoughts on it?
No, I didn't think he'd play, because I know that he wants to play centre midfield, but I don't think he's got the head at the moment to play there. I think his concentration goes quite often, and they're a decent team, Roma. Like, and especially under Mourinho, like, you got to be on your game. You got to be on the ball to get into his team. And I didn't think he'd play. And he's such a strange one, Maitland-Niles. Just because of his position, where he wants to play. Like, he makes a lot of demands and doesn't back him up, but he's to be at a club like Arsenal and try and dictate where you want to play. It's not going to end well.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I think it's just, you just got to play.
I think he'll look back and he'll think, you know what, I just should have stayed at Arsenal, got my head down, played where the manager wanted me to play, and I could have had a good career there. Like, there's sort of a gap in the market for, like, one of these types of players where
utility players
they can play in different positions. Like, especially now with 5 subs.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna play a lot. You're gonna play a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
We don't know where you'll play, but you'll play for the team that you joined when you were young. You'll get paid very well. The fans love you because you're homegrown. I think he's made either he's been badly advised or his decisions himself.
Yeah, and we can look at Mikel Arteta. We can look at all the other managers that he's been under, but like Ainsley Maitland-Niles, there seems to have always been some sort of something around Ainsley Maitland-Niles, which is not great for the club. And that's been from when he was a youngster. I remember an interview with Arsene Wenger, and was it Ainsley Maitland-Niles nearly got kicked out of Arsenal because of his mum. And then after that, we're seeing him play, gets into the team, not really holding down a regular spot, but looking like he could be a decent squad player, an important squad player as well. Because, as you said, his versatility in multiple different positions. Yeah. And then you hear things come out, like things get leaked. Then you see his girlfriend tweeting stuff online about how is he not playing after getting man the match. I think to myself, like, you just got to, like, these people got to wind their necks in. And I don't know whether he's these messages are coming through from him and he's doing it through other people, or they're just people who feel like they need to speak for him. But like, there's a lot of footballers out there, and there's a lot of footballers that don't get game time when they feel they should, and you don't see any of their family members coming out and talking on their behalf. So it just it stinks a little bit for me. Yeah.
So Nottingham Forest, that could be a good move for him. I don't know what position he'd play there. Mm-hmm. I think he'll always just go to right. I think he'll always end up as a fullback. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion. I don't think I think he is uber relaxed, Maitland-Niles. That sometimes costs him. It can be good. Like, you know, you want people to be relaxed when they play, so that they maybe don't feel any pressure. But at the same time, it has its downsides. And when you're playing in central midfield and you're collecting the ball from the centre back, and if you make a mistake, then the other team are in on your goal. Like, you can't really afford to do that. The person in that position needs to be really trusted on the ball. And although he has got the technical skills, I think, to play there, it's just lapses either in concentration, or I'm not sure if he takes it seriously enough. But he's got loads of ability, but just needs to be harnessed in the right way.
Yeah. So good luck to Ainsley. I'm sure he'll find a club out there. And as you said, it's just, where does he play? I don't feel like he's good enough for a Premier League team to play in central midfield. We saw that with West Brom. They ended up going down. I'm not saying that was Ainsley's fault, but like, he was in and out of that team, and that was a horrible team. That team was terrible. That West Brom team. It didn't work there. You've gone to Roma. It's not worked there. Like, and I'm sure you probably did play as a central midfielder in a game, or come on. I know you definitely played right back. It just didn't work. So yeah. And Jose Mourinho didn't say too much about him, which Jose Mourinho is never short of words when it comes to anyone. So I'm sure if he would have had something in him, which he felt like he would have got something out of him, I'm sure he would have done. But nah. Hopefully, it feels. I don't know why, but it feels like another Dele Alli situation. But I mean, Dele Alli, at least he smashed in multiple goals, got multiple caps for England. For him to have this sort of backing that he gets from the fans that Ainsley gets. Good luck to him. Next up, Rafinha, Leeds and Brazil winger. Arsenal have been linked along with Tottenham. So Leeds Rafinha is a target for both Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur this summer, amid concerns that Barcelona will be unable to fund the deal for the forward. Well, it is not unable. They are unable. It's like they can't. It's not fears, concerns. They can't. Barcelona have not got the money for Rafinha. Like, they're trying to get De Jong off the books. They want to get Bernardo Silva in. And I just don't think Rafinha is high on their priority when they're looking to do a like for like replacement for De Jong. Chelsea are also understood to hold interest in the 25-year-old, although they are working on a deal for Ousmane Dembele, which is true. That is true. posted that a few weeks ago, who is poised to leave Barcelona on a free transfer. Leeds are open to selling Rafinha, providing the club's valuation for the player is met. He's repeatedly been linked with Barcelona. They have debts of more than 1 billion. Wow. That has opened the door for Premier League North London rivals Arsenal and Tottenham both to go for the Brazilian international. Jerome, Rafinha, a player you like. What's your thoughts on Rafinha? Would you? I remember you doing a player profile on him when he was when he come from Rennes. This is the good thing about doing them player profiles. They always circumnavigates that at one point Arsenal are going to be linked with a player.
Yeah, so I remember what I said as well about him. I was a bit unsure, to be honest with you, from what the clips that I'd seen, but shows what I know, because I think since he's been at Leeds, I think he's been excellent. And if you were to ask me, would I be happy to get him in? Absolutely. He's been playing obviously a very poor team, but has really stood out, and he's contributed a lot in terms of goals. Also had a few assists as well, but I just think his style of play and to ease the burden on Saka would be of massive benefit to us. He can play obviously either side as well. Great age, perfect age probably to be one of our wingers. Like, we don't want to sign like another sort of 30-odd-year-old. We don't really want to. I know we're going to come on maybe in a bit about another youngster, but to go into the team now, someone that will play, I think he'd be an excellent signing. The only question mark is, are Arsenal going to be prepared to pay the fee that Leeds United want? Because it's obviously a hefty fee that they're looking for. Could that be negotiated perhaps?
It's looking in the region of about 50 million.
Yeah, so that is a lot. But if that's going to ease the burden on Saka and keep Saka's hamstrings in good condition.
Yeah, because if he sneezes, I tell you what, they're going to pop. Like, he's played too much football over the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Because Saka gets injured, you'd say, I'd spend 60 million on someone. You'd probably spend it, and honestly I think it'd be a brilliant signing. Obviously, he's got the links with the Brazil national team as well, so he knows a few of the boys we've already got. Maybe one of the boys that's coming in as well, perhaps.
Yeah.
Played in the league. I think it'd be a brilliant signing, and it's one of those where I'm sort of getting my hopes up a little bit, and hopefully won't be. You don't want to get too excited about it, but at the same time, you sort of envision the player in the team. So I'd love it. I'd love it to happen. What about you?
Yeah, I think Rafinha is an excellent player. I always said that Arsenal need a player like a Pepe in their team, a Mahrez, a Zaha. Rafinha's one of them. So if we're getting rid of Pepe, you've got to bring in a player that can do that can just do something out of nothing. You know what Saka's going to do, but you can't stop him. Like, you know what Martinelli's going to do. He's 100 miles an hour. He's powerful. He's got pace. He's direct. Rafinha is just someone that could just do something out of nothing. Can drop a few skills, a couple of flip-flaps, could just take it around 5 players and wrap it in the top corner. And I think, he got 11 goals this season for a team that nearly got relegated. I think, I'd take Rafinha. Definitely, 100% take Rafinha. I think it'd be an excellent signing for Arsenal. And if you talk about some of the other players that have been linked with as well, that we're going to talk about just now, I think it'll be a brilliant addition with those other players if we can get them across the line.
Yeah.
All right. Just going to quickly gloss through these before we get onto the final subject of the day. Arsenal are still favourites for Gabriel Jesus, but I repeat, Chelsea are circling. So this is definitely a deal Arsenal need to get over the line as soon as possible. We did speak about it previously. So up until now, personal terms agreed. Arsenal have gone in with a bid of what works out to be around 50 million euros. I don't know anything about any add-ons on top of that, but we've been told that it's around 50 million euros. I think it's 42.8 million was the fee, the bid that Arsenal went in with, which works out about 49 million euros. As we said, the personal terms agreed. His agent came out and said he wants to stay in the Premier League. Real Madrid, no,
wants to play in a team that wear red.
Yeah. Well, that'd be good. There is another Italian team interested, an unnamed Italian team. I think in the papers it says that Juventus are interested, but if you look at their strike force, they would definitely need to get players off the books before they brought someone in there, especially with the likes of Vajovic in the team. It would definitely Jesus would definitely need reassurances that he's going to be the main man there as well. But yeah, Chelsea are circling. The thing is with Chelsea, what worries me about Chelsea is they are very good at selling players. Like you think to yourself, how the hell are they going to get Lukaku off the books? They just spent £100 million on him last season. Well, then they loan him out and then get 80 million for him the following season. Like I don't know how they managed to get all the money they did for Morata when they did. Like it's madness. I don't know how they managed to recoup most of that money back. They haven't for Kepa, but I mean, you win some, you lose some. But yeah, I wouldn't write Chelsea off being able to get rid of Lukaku. And if they can do that, then I think it's squeaky bum time for Arsenal fans. If they can't do that, and Arsenal can get this deal wrapped up quick, sharp, Gabriel Jesus will be an Arsenal player. And I'm not steering away from that at the moment. From what I'm hearing, Gabriel Jesus, as we said there, Arsenal are still favourites, and yeah, I don't. There's nothing that I'm hearing to tell me that this deal is off the rails. We will hear a lot more in the coming, hopefully the coming days, but definitely the coming weeks, because Gabriel Jesus is finished international duty, and I'm sure they want to get something wrapped up before he goes on his holidays. At least something so that his agent can just get on with things. But yeah, as soon as we get any news, you'll hear it here first. Make sure you press that like and subscribe button and hit the notifications button. Make sure you hit the notifications button on our Twitter page as well, on the Transfer Exchange Show, so you can be first to hear any news that comes out there as well. I'm just going to wrap past Youri Tielemans. There's nothing new on Youri Tielemans. As we said, as soon as the international breaks are done, which they are done, so we should be hearing something within the next few days about Youri Tielemans with regards to any movements on that. Pretty sure it's not going to be far off. We posted the other day that Youri Tielemans wants to join Arsenal. Arsenal are the front runners for his signature. It was just about Leicester and Arsenal getting a deal over the line. Arsenal do feel like they can get a deal over the line for around 25 million mark, which is crazy for a player of such talent. But he does only have 1 year left on his contract. I know he did come out and say that if Leicester can't sort anything out, he will be happy to stay at Leicester. They will want to get him off the books. They want to recoup some money for him, rather than letting him go on a free. Speaking of 25 million, this man here, he caused absolute uproar. I'm guessing, I didn't hear it, but Jerome said they did. Absolute uproar on the socials yesterday. I'm not surprised, because Arsenal fans, or is it today? Arsenal fans, when it comes to this player, it's wearing your heart on your sleeve. It's Brighton at Hove Albion's Yves Bissouma, and he looks like he's on his way to Tottenham for £25 million. We did speak about it the other day, where a big fan of Yves Bissouma wrote on their Instagram post that Arsenal needs to do everything to bring in Youri Tielemans and Yves Bissouma in this transfer window. And Yves Bissouma actually reposted that. Not just once, but he reposted two of the guys' tweets to reiterate that he wants Arsenal to make the move for him this summer. Arsenal clearly haven't done that. His agent clearly told him to get that down, because it's not professional. It's not a good look for the club. Jerome, what was your first thoughts when you heard about this £25 million fee for Bissouma? And did your head go as much as some of the Arsenal fans online?
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. I think he's a brilliant player. And when I first saw the price, I thought that's way too low. Like that's a bargain. Why would they sell him like for that amount of money? I thought it's way too cheap. I know he's got this I think this court case coming up
over his head.
But for Spurs to be prepared to pay that money, then maybe they're pretty confident that nothing will come from it.
The thing is, I'll say on that. The thing is, before you carry on, I'll say on that. It only got his bail only got extended in April until the 6th of June. Yeah, so something must have come out recently. 6th of June was only last week, so something must have come out recently, which they've either extended it, or like you said, they may have got an inkling that this is just going to get shut down. But we're looking to that more. But yeah, carry on, Joe.
Yeah, I think the type of player he is, I'd love to see him in our midfield. I think he's got so many attributes that we could do with. Because if Partey gets injured, then which he will do, then I don't know what we're gonna do in terms of a replacement. And I'd love to see Partey and Bissouma together. I think that's a proper central midfield there. But I know that Arteta's maybe not thinking that that's the type of system he wants to play. But yeah, first reaction was that's an amazing price for that player, because I think he's one of the best central midfielders in the league, and I'd love to have him in our team, but doesn't look likely. And to go to Spurs to strengthen their midfield, which is probably an area they do need to strengthen, I think it's a very good deal for Spurs.
Why do you think it's just because, like, forgetting the court case, because before the court case stuff even came out, Arsenal were, again, a lot of fans, it feels like it was more fans stating they want this player as opposed to Arsenal actually really fancying this player.
Yeah, I think from a fan's point of view, I don't want to speak on behalf of the fans, but I think the fans, but I will do. I think the fans want a physical, athletic, strong, tackling central midfielder, and that's what Bissouma is. Tielemans is a lovely player. Odegaard's fantastic. Our other central midfielders, obviously Partey's very good, but we don't really have that type of player. And I think in the games like towards the end of the season, the Newcastle away, the Spurs away, like our midfield just got properly overrun. And I think having someone like a Bissouma in the central midfield, look, I'm not saying that wouldn't have happened, but I think you give yourself a better chance of maybe keeping the ball, not getting overrun in midfield. But hopefully maybe I guess Arteta just doesn't fancy him, doesn't want him in the team. So that's it.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's just I never ever hear anything fully concrete on it. I only ever hear rumours on Twitter as well, and then you see something in the Sun where it's like Arsenal are looking at, like, there's never anything concrete. There's never Arsenal have made an approach. Arsenal put down an inquired. So I just feel like there's never anything really solid to say that Arsenal ever wanted Bissouma. Especially when you see him do those things on social media. Like, if there's ever a come and get me plea, that was it. And for 25 mil, like, it's an easy win. Yeah, definitely an easy win, and especially considering Arsenal could probably do with that backup DM sort of CM type player, can play both of those. Just a centre midfielder who could probably do a bit of both, bosh it around and pass. It does feel like Arsenal do need that, but it's not going to be Yves Bissouma because he's off to the Spuds. So All right. He's ruined he's absolutely ruined it. I don't want to see any Arsenal fans loving Yves Bissouma this season. I don't want to hear it. I don't want another Guendouzi situation where people have got Spurs Bissouma as their profile picture. Like you'll be drawn out. Yeah, we can't be having that. It's not good. Not good. All right. Thank you for your time, Jerome. That is all we have time for.
Of course, pleasure.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, people. Make sure you follow the Twitter. If you have any questions on the transfers, hit them in the comment section underneath this post, or hit us up on the Transfer Exchange show. Like I said, as soon as we get any news on any of the transfers, whether it's Tillemans, Jesus. Whoa. Wait up. Arsenal have made a signing. Jerome. Marquinhos.
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on.
We have made a signing, yeah.
We have made a signing. How can we forget Arsenal's one and only signing so far this summer?
Yeah.
It's Brazilian winger Marquinhos, Sao Paulo. All right. Before we go, we nearly missed a player profile here, people. Jerome, Marquinhos. What's this player about? What's he saying? Tell us.
Yeah. Well, how much we're going to see of him next season, I'm not so sure. Because he's only really played about a year in Sao Paulo's first team. He's only just turned 19. Now, do you remember a few seasons ago, Arsenal got linked with a player that played for Bordeaux called Malcolm. Yeah. He ended up going to Barcelona, and now he's at, I think, Zenit St. Petersburg, where he was this sort of, I don't know about stocky, but left-footed right winger. Look pretty sharp, drifting in from the right, taking players on. He's a little bit in the Malcolm's Brazilian as well, a little bit in that type of mould, whereby it's as if his first thought is just to attack the defender. Now, although he does play on the right, a lot of the clips that you see of him, he does pick up the ball on the left as well, drifting into the middle. But he's very much one of those players that super comfortable with the ball at his feet in terms of his sort of close control, close dribbling skills, and taking players on, attacking players, committing them. Can go either side down the line or cut inside. Obviously, he's only played like I say, a year in the Brazilian league. So how ready he is to come straight into the first team, I'm not quite sure. They've obviously got him for a very cheap fee. And you'd like to think that we sort of know the Brazilian market now. Yeah. And so if there's a player with a lot of potential, then we'll sort of be, will be in the mix in terms of signing them. But some lovely cutbacks in terms of like the intelligence to spot a player. Yeah. Doesn't seem to get sort of flustered when he's in dangerous positions. Scored some lovely goals as well for Sao Paulo. Not a lot, but the goals he scored are of high quality. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, he's super young, so I don't. It might be like another Martinelli situation whereby Martinelli, I think he played the odd Europa League. I think he did play a little bit. I don't know how much he played in the league when he first came. Martinelli, not an awful lot. I know he was a bit younger. But yeah, quite exciting, very sharp. But it's hard to really gauge because of the opposition he's played against and for how long he's been playing. But he was a constant in the team, and so to be a constant, basically he was pretty much 18 the whole season. So, and I think they won. I don't know if it was the league or they won like a cup competition. I think that Sao Paulo, and he was an ever present. So, hopefully, Edu knows what he's doing with this one.
All right. Yes. Well, welcome to Arsenal, Marcos Vinicius Oliveira Alacar, aka Marquis. All right. Thank you very much for joining us, people. Thank you for everyone who's joined us in the comment section. Make sure you press that like button if you are a regular. If you're new to the show, make sure you press that subscribe button and press that share button. You know, if you press that share button and just press copy, you don't even have to share it. Just press copy. That helps massively. That all helps. So if you could do that as well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Like I said, if you want any updates on the transfers, make sure you hit us up in the comment section below or on the Transfer Exchange show. Press that notification button. Press that. Yeah, let's go. All right. Thanks for joining us tonight, Jerome.
Yeah, pleasure. Cheers.
All right. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.